Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. No way did that just happen. No. Bro! Recently, Red Dead Online has seen quite a lot of news. There's been a new weekly update this week bringing a free bounty hunter role to Red Dead Online, which includes 5 bolus and 25 tracking arrows for anyone who plays Red Dead Online between February 4th and February 10th, as well as 2 separate instances of server downtime and server maintenance for the PlayStation 4 console, which was supposed to fix issues with player stats, as well as online connectivity and stability. And then, of course, on Thursday, Rockstar shared with us an interview from Polygon in which they gave some new details on specifics yet to come to Red Dead Online in a new DLC content update. What wasn't mentioned inside of this interview was what new role shall be coming to the game. Of course, all players want an outlaw or villain-esque role where we can hold up stagecoaches and rob unsuspecting victims, and maybe even shop and bank robberies that play out like stranger missions or bounties in their simplicity before we get the thing that we all want, which are large-scale heist type content. However, I think it's still too early on to be expecting this content to come next. As of last week though, a Rockstar insider and enthusiast shared some top secret details with the community about which exact role players can expect to be added to Red Dead Online. Quick little PSA here as well, an animal fix patch could be coming very soon as this Tuesday even. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but upon checking SteamDB, I'll leave the link for this in the description down below if you'd like to check it out for yourself as well. Rockstar switched Red Dead Online to QA Beta 3. This would mean we are at the very least getting close to the animal fix patch. Now, of course, a lot of you may be scratching your heads wondering what QA Beta 3 is and what it means, and it's essentially the way in which Rockstar can branch off the animal fix patch from the next new update. So to say it's technically in the game right now for players isn't necessarily accurate because none of us have downloaded any patch with this fix, but on Rockstar's end, yes, this patch is there and seemingly ready to go. So again, not to hype anyone up just in case this doesn't happen this week, but we might get the new patch this upcoming Tuesday, and if we do, it should have whatever animal fix changes and solutions are included in QA Beta 3. So, without further ado, I hope you all enjoy the video and find the information helpful. If you do, please drop a like and consider subscribing so we can keep you guys up to date here with everything Red Dead Online on a daily basis. I live stream most nights over on twitch.tv/HazardousHDTV, and now let's start discussing the news and information in regards to the new Red Dead Online role coming to the game in the next DLC update. It's definitely something I've been waiting to share all week, as I've been mentioning in my videos, and this definitely follows up on the last video I made when we had our first bit of news regarding new DLC from Rockstar in a Polygon interview with them. And for those of you who are unaware, there was a naturalist role that was supposed to come into Red Dead Online in a future update that would entail the player having to set off into the beautiful open world to source and collect herbs. And since we discussed that leak back in the beginning of January, the dialogue has since changed, and it appears as though this won't be its own exclusive role after all. For those who are uninterested in the naturalist, this may be a sigh of relief, but as I said, this is coming from Rockstar insider Tez Funds 2, and after some more investigating, it appears as though the naturalist is linked specifically to the moonshiner role after all. And according to Tez, he says the naturalist is part of the moonshiner role because you collect ingredients for the moonshine flavor. This is something we discussed when we were originally talking about the naturalist role coming into the game, because it was made out to seem like there was actual in-game missions that had the player go out into the world to pick herbs and plants. And of course, this only occurs once in the Moonshiners update story arc, where Maggie has you go out and gather ingredients to start getting production started. And as you all know, after, gathering ingredients for future batches of moonshine is in your own accord if you'd like to add that flavor. But what Tez had to say regarding this matter was that the variable that mentioned the naturalist role is actually linked to a random moonshine event, so I suppose they had a couple of random events planned where we would encounter some NPCs with special herbs. We were thinking Rockstar wanted to expand upon this feature, which they certainly are, but just not in regards to exploring the world to find herbs and plants to collect. But what instead looks to be the case here is that, just as myself and some others speculated, Rockstar's planned photography role would be a thing for Red Dead Online in the future, where players set out to explore the open world not to collect herbs and plants, but to take photos. And that seems to be what's up next on the chopping block for us here in the next update. On the GTA forums, and just like my comments here on YouTube, the reaction to getting the photography role as the next new role to come to Red Dead was met with some severe negativity. And of course, people want bug fixes and an outlaw role most, but even the thought of having some sort of photography doesn't appear to be sitting too well in the players' minds currently, and we can see how there is some advantage to having this be the next role come to the game as well. And Tez followed up with this by stating, to be honest, it's much better to get the photography role this early than delaying it until the mid or late 2020s. This issue with animal spawns isn't a small issue, it's a big deal, and it might require revamping certain parts of the game that can handle the spawning of wildlife, and such process raises a perfect opportunity to introduce new variables for the photographer role, because they would reach the root of the animal spawn issue, which would allow them to keep everything in check, including the new variables. Whereas releasing the photographer role at a later point might end up messing animal spawns when it was already fixed prior to the introduction of the new role. Just like the Moonshiners update. A lot of bugs and glitches were fixed, and then the Moonshiners role unfixed those glitches and turned them back into bugs. But where did all of this stem from? In an interview with VG247, we saw an interview with Rockstar Games where, again, an associate producer for Red Dead Online at Rockstar shared some details in their thought process of why a photography role was good for the game. Yeah, I think this is such a cool area, Butcher agrees. Photography and allowing players to capture their adventures and moments is really important to us, and it's something we've already established that the community loves. It's been amazing seeing posses come together for professional photographs thanks to the latest update, and we're really proud of Red Dead Redemption 2 and the world we made, and we obviously have the handheld camera in single player, which is also available in Red Dead Online, with players having a lot of fun capturing Arthur in spectacular fashion, sometimes hilariously so, and so we've seen that continue into online, and we want to keep building on this to make sure players continue chronicling their experiences as the online mode grows. Will this new photography role only consist of photography-esque content? Well, no, and if you'd like a video on further details, the video I uploaded on Thursday shared the rest of the news from Polygon, but also coming with the photography role could be the addition of the Rockstar editor, and this is more speculation at this point, but in terms of any updates where bringing the editor makes sense, this certainly seems to be the one. Now, that's basically everything in the news regarding the new photography role to come to Red Dead Online, and I have a few more things to discuss if you'd like to stick around. Firstly, in terms of upcoming content left in the Red Dead Online Moonshiners update, we have 2 new hats left to be released here in-game, along with 1 new shirt and a special location for Madame Nazar on Valentine's Day. Since this is the week of Valentine's Day as well, perhaps this Tuesday will also feature the new clothing in the weekly content update on Tuesday, but I'm curious where you think Madame Nazar will be for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna guess Valentine. Also, in the news, it appears that the 2 server maintenance downtimes on PlayStation 4 this week has caused some good and some bad for players. This is, of course, my own anecdotal data from PS4 players chatting with me on my live streams and on Twitter and Discord, but some players are finding more animals on the PS4 servers despite being in large and densely populated sessions of 20 plus players, and unfortunately, some other players are facing more disconnects than ever too, and that's something I was hoping would be adjusted in some way, but of course I was more so hoping people would disconnect less, but it appears that's simply not the case, and people who are disconnecting in any terms of adjustment are actually disconnecting more and not less after these 2 maintenance downtimes. But this week as well, it was announced that Dan Houser will be leaving Rockstar Games come March 11, 2020, and it was discussed at the Take-Two Interactive earnings call on Thursday that new IPs are in the development pipeline for Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive. A Midnight Club online website domain was recently registered, and perhaps this could be one of those new games. But with that said, we are going to be ending this video off right here. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on the new photography role coming in the new Red Dead Online update. Is this something you want for the game, or is it not? Maybe even more importantly, I should ask, do you think this update will come with just as many bugs that don't get fixed like the Moonshiner role? I really hope that's not the case. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2. If you want to stay up to date with updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on all 3 of those websites, so you can feel free to strike up a conversation with me or even ask me a question. But whatever it may be, you can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and of course, all of my social media links, including my Discord, can be found in the description down below for your guys' use. With that said, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.